The family, they just have a lot of family drama. I don't know. It's like a cursed family or something. I hate to say that, but like it's just a lot of...
Blake Lively, once regarded as Hollywood's sweetheart, now finds herself in the middle of an explosive scandal. It wasn't long ago that she seemed to have it all: a glowing public image, a loving marriage to Ryan Reynolds, impeccable fashion choices, and a career that appeared to be on the rise with endorsement deals and starring roles in top films. But that picture-perfect image started to crack when a feud with co-star and filmmaker Justin Baldoni turned into an all-out battle that has rocked both the entertainment world and her personal life. It all began on set. The collaboration between Blake and Justin started off like any other film project. But as filming progressed, tensions started to rise. Onlookers began noticing that there was something amiss between the two. Industry whispers emerged about Blake's alleged controlling nature and her desire to make script changes, while Justin reportedly pushed to keep the integrity of the film's original vision. The public didn't know the full extent of the drama yet, but it was clear that there was more happening behind the scenes than anyone had anticipated. Rumors swirled in the media about the friction between the two, with some casting Blake as a diva and others describing Justin as an easygoing professional who simply wanted to make the best movie possible.
And so despite all of the resentment, to me, at the end of the day...
Despite the gossip, the world remained mostly unaware of the full scale of the dispute. It wasn't until legal documents were leaked that the true nature of their conflict became apparent. Blake allegedly accused Justin of inappropriate behavior, while his team countered with accusations that Blake had used unscrupulous tactics to push him out of his own project. What appeared to be another typical Hollywood spat soon escalated into something far more serious. It became a matter of legal battles, with both sides launching accusations that would shape the public narrative. At first, people just shrugged it off as part of the drama that came with working in Hollywood. But soon, things took a more unexpected and personal turn. It wasn't just the actors who were involved anymore. Justin's father, Sam Baldoni, someone who had kept a relatively low profile until that point, suddenly entered the fray. Frustrated by the way the media was framing the situation, Sam took matters into his own hands. Instead of holding a press conference or issuing a traditional statement, Sam took to social media, specifically a short-form video platform, to deliver a pointed message that would shake the foundation of Blake's carefully constructed public persona. In his post, Sam shared a simple, yet striking image of a bulletin board covered in words that described his son Justin.
We're women, so we can just lie and cheat and steal our way in to control these big movies. I'm
compassionate, focused, respectful, generous, clearly showing his support for Justin. The caption, however, was the real bombshell. It read, "In a world full of Blakes and Ryans, be a Justin." While Sam never directly named Blake or Ryan, it was clear who he was targeting. The post went viral almost immediately, dominating social media platforms like TikTok and Twitter, sparking intense discussions and debates across the internet. For Blake, this was a devastating blow. Over the years, she and Ryan had become known as Hollywood's golden couple. Fans adored their playful banter, the way they seemed to perfectly balance their busy careers with family life, and their unwavering support for each other. They had cultivated an image of a stable, loving, and nearly flawless couple in an industry known for scandal and turmoil. But Sam's indirect jab shattered that image in a single post. The fallout was swift.
It's part of being in the public eye. She's just used to being Hollywood's golden girl, and she had...
What had started as a backstage dispute between two professionals now exploded into a war of words that involved not just the actors but their families, the studios, and the public. The media, always hungry for a juicy scandal, had a field day. Blake, for her part, tried to maintain her polished image. She continued to post curated moments of her family life and work, hoping to distract from the growing storm. But it wasn't working. The more she tried to portray herself as the loving mother and dedicated professional, the more her carefully crafted persona began to feel hollow. As the media frenzy continued, The Hollywood Reporter, one of the most influential publications in the entertainment industry, added fuel to the fire. The magazine published a cover story that featured a cartoonish depiction of Blake launching a phone at Justin with a slingshot.
You know, at the end of the day, they're the ones who are seeking gag orders against Baldoni from releasing information, whereas...
It was a pointed critique of her role in the controversy, and Blake's team quickly fired back, calling the magazine's portrayal outrageously insulting. They accused the reporter of downplaying serious issues and trivializing claims of sexual harassment and retaliation. But, as the public backlash grew, it became clear that the tide was turning against Blake. Hollywood is a place where reputations are everything, and it's rare for A-list stars to be publicly called out, especially by an established publication like The Hollywood Reporter. The fact that they had no qualms about mocking Blake suggested that the industry was starting to distance itself from her. The veil of invincibility that most top-tier celebrities enjoy was beginning to slip, and Blake, once seen as Hollywood's darling, was now the subject of intense scrutiny. At this point, Blake's attempts to defend herself were looking increasingly flimsy. Her legal team, which had initially hoped to navigate the storm, found themselves struggling to keep up. The more evidence came to light, the shakier her narrative became. One of the most shocking revelations came when social media detectives uncovered old text messages that contradicted some of Blake's claims. In one exchange, she had invited Justin into a private space while breastfeeding, explicitly telling him that it wasn't an issue. This was in direct contrast to her earlier allegations that Justin had invaded her privacy during that time. The text messages were a game changer. Fans and industry insiders who had initially supported Blake began to feel betrayed. The assumption that Justin had acted inappropriately started to crumble. Instead, many began to wonder if Blake had exaggerated the situation, or worse, made it up entirely. As the details of her claims were scrutinized, the public's perception of her started to shift dramatically. The America's sweetheart image she had so carefully curated was being torn apart piece by piece. As the scandal deepened, the focus turned to the power dynamics at play. Blake, it seemed, wasn't just trying to get creative control over the film. There were whispers that she had used her influence to sideline Justin from his own project. Allegedly, she had even gone so far as to prevent him from attending his own film's premiere, a move that shocked the entire industry. The idea that a star could wield so much control over a project, effectively shutting out the very people who had helped bring it to life, left many in Hollywood horrified. Justin's father, Sam, had seen enough. He understood the gravity of the situation and knew that his son's career could be permanently harmed if Blake was allowed to continue her unchecked power play. Sam's social media post was not just a defense of Justin, it was a battle cry. The Baldoni family was standing up to the Hollywood elite, challenging the system that allowed stars like Blake to manipulate the narrative to their advantage. The revelation that Blake and Ryan had so much power that they could effectively ban Justin from his own film's premiere sent shockwaves through the industry. It wasn't just an isolated incident, it was a glaring example of how Hollywood stars could use their influence to rewrite the rules and upend established norms. And as more details came to light, it became clear that Blake's behavior was part of a larger pattern of manipulation and control. This revelation didn't just affect Blake's career, it sent ripples through the entire industry. Casting directors, producers, and other industry insiders began to question whether they wanted to work with someone who had shown such a willingness to exploit her position of power. Behind the scenes, people were talking. Hollywood may be known for its loyalty to its stars, but it's also a place where people turn on each other when the tides shift. And for Blake, the tides were shifting in a big way. As the scandal continued to unfold, the industry took notice. Blake Lively, once Hollywood's golden girl, was now a cautionary tale. Her carefully cultivated public persona was crumbling, and the very people she had alienated were making sure the truth came out. Now, she's left to pick up the pieces of her shattered reputation, but it may be too late. In the ruthless world of Hollywood, the price of losing trust can be steep. And Blake Lively might just be learning that lesson the hard way.